This is what happened to my little brother, Luke. He had a habit of consistently moving his eyes, just like someone who is so insecure. When I asked him why he does that, he replied, "The demons keep putting their faces against me to make eye contact with me, so I need to keep avoiding their eyes." However, there was nothing in front of him. He continued to move his eyes while eating, when he was walking down the street, when he was talking with somebody. He kept looking away as if someone was in front of him. I thought to myself that he was clearly suffering from a mental illness and recommended that he go to a psychiatrist, but he stubbornly refused to, saying that there are 10 demons hovering in front of him. Eventually, our family all agreed to send him to a psychiatric hospital. He ran riot and struggled to get out, but the doctor administered a tranquilizer to him and he fell fast asleep. However, this was when the incident happened. A few hours later, he opened his eyes and suddenly screamed as he grabbed his eyes. "Ah! Our eyes met!" He rolled around in pain. Then he suddenly jumped up and groped his own body and face, shouting in a loud, monstrous voice, "I finally got in!" He was smiling, turning up only the whites of his eyes. I was so shocked and was perplexed at what had happened, and so were the doctors and nurses. He continued talking in a monstrous voice. "This body is mine now. This body is now Satan's. This body is now the house of demons!" I shouted in anger. "Go to hell, you evil!" He laughed, saying, "Peter, what's the trouble? Hell is a nice place." After all, we called the priest and he performed exorcisms. The priest said Luke was born with eyes that could see demons, and he said that he must have seen demons all his life. How hard it must have been. Tears ran down my face. The priest performed an exorcism with his eyes covered up with a ribbon tied around his head. Luke yelled at the priest as he was tied to the bed. "Look into my eyes. If I enter your holy body and commit a sin, how will God respond?" When the priest sprinkled holy water on him, he let out a monstrous scream, and smoke came out with a burning sound. After a long exorcism, Luke finally fainted with his head dropped, and the priest said that no more demons would come near him. Luke woke up and surprisingly, he no longer looked away. He regained his composure. However, even after that, every once in a while, as he walked down the street, he would point somewhere and say there is an evil spirit. But he never looked at that direction. When I looked where he pointed, nothing was there. I asked him, "Is there really such a thing as a demon in this world?" And then he said, "Yes, there are many. Every day they hover around in front of people's eyes and whisper in their ears. There's also one in front of you right now. It's struggling to get your attention. Peter, I'll tell you one thing. If you see something strange in front of you, never look at it. You just have to pretend you didn't see it. Promise me."